we go. Okay. Okay. Hey everyone. We're gonna get started in some Kerby today. Yesterday we put the base down for this page with Albrecht Dewars, and it's dry. It's a little crinkly, but I'm sure that's because this side was also based. So we'll go in with some color on some of these trees today. And also, last night I worked on more of the water. So I'm almost done on this side. I just have to do this little strip down here, which I'll probably do once I'm done on the live. But I thought today we'd do something with this background. Probably with Neo colors. I'm leaning towards Neo colors. Just because they'll probably go down easier than the Albrecht Dewars. So I'm gonna go with Neo colors. And it's probably gonna be like a dark gray. And then we'll do something, either a light gray for the clouds or something different. But I wanna do a dark gray for the background. Yeah, so, but I wanted to pick the colors out for these trees. So I think I'm gonna start with this one. And I'm gonna grab the backing sheet for that. And what I'm gonna do is put, because we're working on the opposite side, so it's, I think it's a little thin. If I can recall, we're working on the opposite side. So I'm gonna put this in here. And I have this book on the other side, so it's a little more sturdy. And I'm actually gonna move these for a second, or until we're done with the stream. Just so I can move this over and you guys can see a little bit better. Just all right. And then I can put my case over there. This is gonna bug me, so I need to find that clip I was using. Here it is. Because the little paper keeps coming from out of the thing. Okay. There we go. All right. Now I'm gonna put these to the side. These are the colors I was using for that. So let's just, so for the trees, I also brought the swatch out for my drawing, my Derwent drawing. So I brought that out too. Let's start with the pine trees. So I do have some pine greens here. So I think I'm actually gonna go with pine and then mountain green. And maybe grass green, 70%. I might have to pull in a color from somewhere else because what I want for the highlight, the light fast doesn't have, and I know I don't have it in the luminance because I don't have any greens. So I'll probably pull out something like that cadmium yellow lemon that I had in the Albert Doors. I might pull that out from the polys to go with that. We'll see how it works. Okay. I don't know how the polys work with the light fast either, so that's another thing we're gonna figure out. Okay. So I do want pine, which is somewhere. Let's see, where's pine? Here it is. Pine, and I want mountain green. No, not mountain green. Did I say mountain green? Yes. Pine, mountain green. Grass green or grass green 70. Let's start with grass green and see what it looks like. And then if it's, no, I think I'm gonna go with grass green 70. It's kind of a big jump from the mountain green, but I think we should be okay. Hi, Mandy. And then we have the one for the polys. If I need that other one, then I'll bring it in. Now, where is my index card? You know, let me grab another one because that one was kind of fighting for his life anyway. Okay. How are you, Mandy? How are you doing today? How big of a jump is this? Oh, it's not that big of a jump. It's okay. And then for the highlight color, now this is going to be hard to do, the transition between that and that. So I could come in lightly and try to like blend those two, something like that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. If it starts looking weird, then we'll do something different. But I think that is okay. I might not need too much of this yellow anyway. Because that's basically what it is. It's just the yellow. So I'm going to start with this tree. And I'm just going to put some of that there. And what I plan on doing, the dragon page is almost, basically, I mean, if you really think about it, it's almost done. I just have, that one side, not the whole page, because it is a double page spread. But that one side, I just have the rest of the buildings, the dragon, in the background. So it's really not too much. So I'm kind of excited. I might actually finish a page before the month is out, but I don't want to jinx myself because my work schedule is crazy. So, and this sharpener does not like my light fast pencils, but it sharpens them nice, but it tears up the wood. So, hi Marcia, if you can see, it likes to, and it only does it on some of them, but I mean the pencil still works, so it's fine. It's only on some of them, so like this one is perfectly fine. So it's always that one pencil. Okay. So yeah, so that one, and then for this page, I've been wanting to do this page over for a while now, and because I did it before in my other copy, but that copy is falling apart, so I have to redo my pages over in the new book. And I meant to pull it out so you guys can see it. Let me see if I can get it really quick. It's right underneath me, but I have to, oh yeah, it's right here on top. Perfect. I put my coloring books in this giant, like, box I got from Walmart. So all my coloring books are in there. Very convenient because it's right under my desk. Okay, so I'm basically recreating this page. This was done ages ago, like when I first got the book, so it's a little rough looking, but I can now see, because I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the rock, so this is perfect. I'll do the cliff rocks brown and do the ones that are just hanging about gray. So yeah, so that's the page we're doing, and then the other one, the one right on its backside, I'm redoing a little bit different. The original one was done purple, yellow, and pink. And once those two are completed, another page I'm dying to recreate is this one. And I am excited for this one. I might do, because for the water, I used my super tips and I really like the way it came out. So I might do that, or I might try to recreate the colors with my pencils. But you're going through your completed pages to pick out your favorites. Ooh, that's fun. One of these days I'll complete a page. I haven't completed a page in such a long time. Probably the last one I completed was the one where we did the color along together, the color palette challenge. That was probably the last page I completed. I like to just work a little bit on all of whatever page I'm working on, so me completing a page has slowed down quite tremendously because I don't rush to complete my pages anymore just to have pages completed. I'd rather them look really nice. And I'm a super slow colorist, so having a certain amount of pages completed a month is not happening anyway. So, hey Leilani's Kitchen, how are you? Yeah, I can't like bring myself to try to complete all those pages. But today is going to be a day filled with Pokemon hunting and working on these two pages. I might even bring the colors out and work on my other page, the dragon that's on the back side of this one. I might grab the colors for that. Yeah, so that's basically what the pine trees are gonna look like. I meant to zoom back in. I missed a tree to base it. I don't know how that happened. Interesting. Mandy, you're not on YouTube? I feel like everyone who colors should be on YouTube. Everyone should have like a coloring channel, even if they don't like, you know, want to get all the subscribers and all of that stuff, I think it would be good to just kind of record your process and look back on and all that fun stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, I would subscribe too. And I'm just gonna bring some of that. So I probably won't be on too long. I'm gonna get some of these trees done and then figure out. I definitely think neocolor. I was thinking acrylics for the background of the other one, but um, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the neocolors and then go over top with some pencil where need be. Though I'm better with acrylics and, you know, acrylic paint and gouache and stuff than I am with the neocolors, but I figured I'd give it a shot at least. You know, that basically, so when I started my channel, I was getting ready to um, go into surgery for my shoulder. So I was spending a lot of time at home, and I started seeing like other people on YouTube that would color and share their coloring stuff, and I'm like, well, I color already anyway. That would be something cool to do to kind of keep me company or keep, you know, I'm like, because I knew I was going to be off from work once I had my surgery. I knew I was going to be off for a while. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start my channel and just kind of, you know, have a nice little record just in case. Because I also wasn't sure, hey Kim, if because it was my right shoulder, I wasn't sure how fast I was going to get back into coloring, if at all. So I started my channel and went from there. Really, a lot of the stuff I learned on YouTube, I just kind of, you know, because I was at home already watching YouTube, I was like, well, I might as well start my own channel and, you know, kind of. And it's cool because I can look back on my older videos and um, they're kind of fun to watch, especially the ones where, you know, where Mizu kind of appears randomly in them, and it brings back a lot of memories. And some of those videos is back before I moved to Nevada, so it just brings back a lot of memories. So it's a nice little record of, you know, how I colored then versus how I colored now and the memories. And I can watch some of those videos and remember exactly where I was sitting, who was home, what was going on while I was attempting to record. And it's just a nice little record to keep. I met a lot of really nice people that I still talk to this day. Kim's one of them. View. Um, View didn't talk much at the beginning, um, but she was there. I think she was there from the beginning. There's a couple. Candy. Now that I'm trying to remember everybody, it's not gonna pop to the top of my head. But it's fun to look back, especially on the live streams. Like some of those live streams were amazing. There are people that I met that I'm not really sure where they disappeared to. I know some of them stopped their YouTube channel, but it's almost like they fell off the face of the earth. But the memories are still really nice. Um, T, uh, I think T's been around since the beginning. Um, just a lot of people that I can be like, hey, you remember that time we were in so and so's live stream and this happened and we were all laughing, and it's cool to have some kind of record, I think. And then, when I get old and crumbly and won't be able to color anymore, I can still watch my videos and get some kind of enjoyment. Linda, I can't remember if Linda was there from the beginning or not. If she was, I don't know if that was always her YouTube name or not. Because I know there are people that change their name and they're still around, but I didn't remember them until they were like, oh, my YouTube name was such and such. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember you now. You changed your YouTube name, and I'm already terrible with names. So if I have to be kind of reminded, like, oh, yeah, remember I was there when this happened. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. But I can't remember if Linda was there from the beginning. I know Coloring Candace, she's another one. I've been on YouTube for what? It's been like 8 years now? Something around that time. So, it seems like forever ago when you talk about it out loud. But I'm glad I did it though. I am, because it's nice. I met a lot of cool people. Got a lot of cool coloring tips and even like art tips too. Like before I didn't even used to really watch YouTube unless it was like gaming related. And then I think I got on there. Yeah, I know. It doesn't even feel like it, but it's been like 8 years. Probably more because um when I got on YouTube, it should be able to tell me how long I've been on YouTube, right? Like where does it say that at? It's been a while. It's been some years for sure. At least I no, it's been more than 5. I can say that. But I had a YouTube account for a while already because like I said, I would watch like gaming streams and stuff. And then I think um there we go. Thank you, Leilani. Wow, that was a really long time. um I what made me go on there and start looking up coloring stuff? I think I was just over my Crayola pencils. I think it was because they weren't giving me the pigment that I wanted. Like I wanted something more. So I think what started it for me, I think I searched like best coloring pencils to use in adult coloring books, and then from there it was like a straight rabbit hole for like a week straight. Literally, it was like they start talking about Prismacolors, and then it got into the whole Prismacolor versus Faber-Castell, and then I was like, well, who's Faber-Castell? And then started researching Prismacolor and Polychromos videos, and then I start finding channels where they were talking about the different stuff you can use in your book and the best gel pens. And when I tell you guys, it was like a week-long rabbit hole, and I was just like, it was so much information, and I was just like, And then I couldn't choose between if I wanted to try the Prismacolor or the Faber-Castells. And I liked the way the Faber-Castells looked. And I was like, well, I don't want to just go off of looks. I'm like, but these pencils are so pretty. And I know I was getting on my boyfriend's nerves because I was like going to him and I was showing him the pencils and the videos, the picture. I know I was getting on his nerves, but he was so patient. He was just like, well, you don't know what they're gonna be like when you use them, so you really don't have much to go off of but the looks and the videos that you've watched. And he was like, just pick one. And then that's when he started telling me, because I didn't like used to order from Amazon a lot. And so he was like, look, he was like, whichever one you get, if you don't like it, we can return it. He was like, you are stressing yourself out way too much. um he was like, it's not that serious, just pick one. So I think ultimately he ended up picking for me, because he ended up buying me the polychromos. He bought me the full set, and I was so excited. So that was like my first like real set of pencils, outside of my Crayolas. And so he was like, okay, he was like, here. I know he was like, now be quiet. He probably was really like, okay, be quiet because you're getting on my nerves now. Here's these pencils, go sit down somewhere. And when I say I fell in love with the polychromos, those are still to this day my favorite pencil. Um, and then I ended up, probably like a month or two later, I ended up getting the Prismacolor anyway. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I got the polychromos first, because I like the polychromos better than the Prismacolor. The Prismacolor I'm really not a fan of. They're probably one of my least favorite pencils. Um, and I know there's some people out there that's probably ready to rip the top of my head off, but really, they're some of my least favorite, if not my least favorite. Um, I think it's the least, they are the least favorite that I own. I will say that. And I own about, what, 6 or 7? So they are my least favorite. I will use them, but not my favorite. So, um, where is my swatch sheet? Oh, here. Now I'm gonna pick out the colors for the yellowish looking trees, and I think I'm just gonna grab some random colors. So I'm gonna grab like maybe mustard, maybe not mustard. That might be too bright. Maybe this yellow. No, I like the mustard. Go with my first mind. Mustard, I think, is pretty good. I'm gonna grab probably from mustard. I'm gonna go golden sun, apricot, and I'll find a brownish color, maybe like brown ochre. Um, yeah. So, and then I started searching like the best gel pens, because I liked using gel pens at the time. So, and even he would like color a little bit with me. So, he had got a set of gel pens, and we would just sit in the living room and we would color and try to see whose picture was the best. And he doesn't color, like, he hasn't colored in a while. I keep trying to get him to color, because it was really fun when we were coloring, trying to figure out whose picture was the best. Though I definitely probably have surpassed him at this point. But those were really fun days. So I was like, and then I started seeing people on YouTube, and their pictures were amazing. So I was like, okay, I've got to step up some game here, and figure out. These trees are really small, so I don't think I need this many colors. I think I'm okay with like the mustard, the apricot. I should have went with gold, actually. Where's that at? Is this gold? This is golden sun. Do I need gold? Maybe. I'll pull it out just in case. We'll see. Um, yeah, so like it's, you know, and I have other hobbies, like, you know, I play the game and Pokemon and stuff, but um I still really enjoy coloring. So I'm definitely glad I started up a channel. I'm gonna bring a brown too, just in case. All right, let's see, because these trees are it's not that many and they're also really small, so I don't want to bring too many colors. So I'm gonna grab this one. This will be our dark, and then apricot, gold. I think that brown might be too dark. I think, oh, that's gold. Okay, I did it backwards. Jesus. Okay, this brown might be too brown. I think I'm gonna find something not so dark. Um, I could even go with like this Mars orange. And that way it's not really a brown, it's still kind of an orangey color. Yeah, something like that. And then gold. Yep. I still feel like I need a brown, but I think that's okay. That should be okay. If I need a brown, I'll add it at the end. So yeah, so that's pretty much my story. This is a weird one, but um, you know. And I think like some of my first coloring books was Kerby. Um, I had a Joanna Basford. I think it wasn't Lost Ocean. I think it was like, it could have been Lost. No, I think it was something else, but Magical Jungle maybe. But I very quickly leaned towards the Kerby books for sure. Just putting a base. And then when I kind of, after my surgery, I wasn't doing too much coloring because they had my arm kind of basically attached to my side. And so, and then it was like kind of haul videos for a while because I couldn't really color too much. And then once I start going back to work, I think my videos kind of slowed down a bit, but I still wanted to kind of make sure that they were there and that I was still recording, even if it was something small. And now I'm back at work full time, and I'm like, okay, my video recording days are really limited unless like I pre-record a bunch of videos, but I don't do that too often either. So this tree is so weird. Yeah, I don't do that too much, so it's mostly just live streams when I'm here, and I prefer the live streams anyway. So that way I can just like directly talk to you guys. And yeah, I think I am gonna bring in a brown actually, just a little bit. So yeah, it's good to look back at your old videos. The memories are nice. Even like, and it's, I don't know if any of it is still going on, but it used to be a lot of drama in the coloring community too, without naming names or anything, but that was interesting too. There were a couple like, just, I don't know, It was just a lot of you know, I don't know what, I didn't exactly follow too much of it, but I would be like listening. I would be nosy and just be like, coloring, like, how you watch a video and you're coloring, and just hearing some of the stuff was like, whoa. And um some of it was just, you know, petty, unnecessary drama, and it was just kind of funny to listen to because it was just like, it's a coloring book. Like get serious. It's a coloring book. It's not something that you should be fighting and arguing over. But um the more serious related drama, I didn't poke my nose in too much. But I would sit and listen to some of the funnier issues that were going on, and I would just kind of sit and listen and color and be like, ooh, that's crazy. You all are really arguing over, and I would just sit and listen and be like, all right, well, and it was crazy because they would just come into, just start a live just so that they can argue, and I'm just like, okay, sure. And I would just sit with my coloring book and color and listen, and I'm just like, let me just be nosy, because are they really arguing over, and it would just be the randomest stuff, and I'm just like, okay. But it would be kind of funny because it's like, you don't even know these people to be arguing, having full on arguments with them. And it just was kind of funny. So, like, when I look at the older videos, I'm reminded of those times where I would just sit and color and listen to the craziness. And, um, my sister, she had started a channel. She doesn't do coloring anymore. Uh, she colors still, but she doesn't do coloring on YouTube. And we would sit and we would like be in the same live together, but we knew we were in the same live, but we wouldn't comment. We would never like just comment on the drama, like, because it wasn't our business, but we would listen, and we would text each other and just be like, "Oh, did you hear that?" And we would just laugh. And when the live was over, we would call each other and be like, "Yeah, so how much of your page did you actually get done, or were you just listening to the drama?" And it would just be so funny. And those days were really fun. But I had to go back to work, and some of those people aren't on YouTube anymore, or if they are, they changed their name and hopefully aren't full of drama. And um the coloring scene, I'm very selective on the channels that I follow and stuff now. So if they are there still, I don't know about it. I was never part of any of the drama. I just was nosy and wanted to listen. But some of the people that I met though were like really, really nice people. And there was a girl on here. I think she was a bit younger than me, probably like a couple years. And we would like be on each other's lives and just laugh and talk and color. And I would always make fun of her because whenever she would color with her alcohol markers, they would squeak. And we would just laugh because I would always put the little eyes emoji, like, I see you with that marker. And she would just laugh. And I was like, that's so much better than just having the drama. It's better to just laugh at stuff like, hey, what's up with that squeaky pencil you got? And, it's so much better that way versus, arguing over whose coloring book is whose and all that nonsense. Um, so I'm glad I started a channel because it's, it's really nice. So what I'm going to do now, because I have the colors for these, I would like to base the Cliff Rocks and the Albrecht Doers. And once I do that, I'm going to move on to the background of the other one if we have time. Let's see. And if not, then I'll just do some stuff later. So for the cliffs, I'm gonna use, because I want them to be that nice, um, kind of rich-ish brown, if that makes any sense. So I'm actually just gonna do one color, and it's just gonna be the cliff rock. So I have to go through, and I'm gonna leave it zoomed out so you guys can see. And I'm just gonna color all the rocks that I'm considering cliff rocks. Yes, drama over coloring is crazy, but it was definitely there. It was definitely something to tune into just for the laughs. And it, I'm sure they probably don't even engage in none of that foolishness anymore. But when I tell you it was hilarious to just tune into, man, and it was just like, you would get on and you would see a certain person on and you'd be like, okay, let's see. And then sometimes, like, which is crazy to me, they would like get on there and be arguing with like the people in their family. So you have the people in the background, and mind you, they're coloring this entire time. They haven't skipped a beat. They're still coloring. You see them coloring, but you hear them like arguing with someone in their family. And it used to just be like really wild. And I'm like, okay, this is getting a little crazy. Like, it's supposed to be coloring or supposed to be like, you know what I mean? And it was wild. And I would just sit and listen, like, oof. But some of those people, I don't think they have channels anymore, or they're not on YouTube, or they probably decided to be like, let me stop this foolishness. I don't know. But it's much more calmer now, which is nice. Um, because it was hard to, like, while it was funny, some of it was hilarious and ridiculous. It was hard to learn anything, especially if it was someone who colored really good and you trying to learn something, but they arguing with everyone. Um, it was really hard to do that. So I'm glad it's much calmer, and a lot of those people aren't on YouTube anymore. But man, Cam's like, yep, some got bad. Yeah, some of it was crazy. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to hit you guys. Some of it was crazy. But like outside of, um, the craziness, it is fun to look back on, older videos to see your progress is one thing. When I look back at some of my videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to color like that. Like, I would color with like I would take the marker and I would outline like all the black lines with the marker, and then I would color the inside with the pencil. I really used to color like that. And or I would like, I still color pretty light, but now I know I can layer multiple colors and things on top so it's not so saturated. But I would color like really light where you can barely see what was going on. And it's cool because I have like a better like camera angle now. And I didn't have, at one point I didn't actually have my art desk, so it was just like, I would legitimately, I think I was like on the bed or on the side of the bed or something I was on. And that was where I would record my videos. I mean, it worked, but I was like, okay, it's time to do something a little bit less crazy, because I would accidentally knock the camera. And at some point I didn't have like a tripod or anything, so I was like holding it. It was crazy. And I would look back at those videos and I would laugh and be like, I can't believe I recorded a video like that. And it's just really cool to look back on, I think. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, and you don't have to, like, like I said, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I made this YouTube so I can have like a bunch of subscribers and get paid. And just do it just because you want to have a record of, what your journey. So I think that's a good reason. I don't know where my voice is going, but it's really trying me today. It was trying me yesterday too, but it's really trying me right now. I don't know what's going on. I have my tea that I keep drinking, but it's not helping. But yeah, so I think, you know, it's a good thing to do. Plus you can meet a lot of really cool people and, you know, jump in each other's lives. I need to um I'll probably pick a day, probably Thursday, where I will have my lives kind of open. So if you do have a channel and you want to just come up and talk and color, you can do that. So I might do that. It'll probably be Thursdays because um, Wednesdays is like my normal stream where I do whatever it is I'm doing for the month. So it would probably be Thursdays or Sundays because Sunday is supposed to be where I play my games, but I haven't done it in a while. Um, every time I get ready to play, I'm either sick or end up doing something else. So maybe um, I'm thinking maybe this Sunday I will test it out just to see, and we'll see how it works and who wants to come up. I'll probably do like I'll probably need to get like because I'll probably have like one person at a time. I won't have like 50 people up. So I will do like a poll or something to see who's gonna want to come up and who, you know, wants to participate for that Sunday, and then we'll go from there. And I know some of you guys are like 3 hours ahead of me, so I would have to probably pop on a little bit earlier if, you know, obviously I would figure out what's the best time for you, and then because I'm off on Sunday, so any time is a good time for me. I don't do anything on Sundays other than rest, so if there's a time where you know you're gonna want to come up and color with me, then I'll pick the better time. I'll let you pick the better time. So if you really look at this page is like almost done already. It's mostly trees and rocks anyway. So once you know, because I'm gonna base this, and then once it's all based, I'm going to let it dry for 24 hours like I did the other one, and well, you know, until the next day, because it hasn't been 24 hours yet for these trees, but they're coloring fine. So but I let it go for 24 hours, and you know, once I feel like it's dry the next day, then it's ready to go. I'm gonna let that be. Is this part of the cliff? This looks like it's part of his arm. So that's gonna be a gray rock. These are gonna be gray rocks. I want to make sure I got all the brown rock areas because I already missed a poor little tree here that I have to go back and base. Or I can just not base it and just do it in pencil because it is just one tree. It'll be fine. Um, I want to make sure that I got all of the little... And then like there's some... I don't know if this is more cliff up here. I would assume so. Like underneath, you guys can't even see. Like I think because there's some lines here, so this might be also cliff. So I might color that. Or I can just white it out and it can be part of the background. But then I don't think this would just fall off like that, so I might color that off. That'll be background too. Yeah, I know someone had, who was that? I think it was Foxy, and she was saying she needs to learn how to color in Kerby's books. And really, I would say just start, like, once you pick your page, obviously, pick something on the page that you want to focus on and color just that. Or pick two things. So, like, for me, for this one, I started with the trees. And that's what I'm going to focus on once I base this background. I'm going to focus on shading in the trees. And, I mean, not background. Once I put some shade, some water to these cliffs and let them dry. But the trees is what I'm focusing on. So, once all the trees are done, then I'll move on to something else. And it makes it a lot less intimidating. Because I know some of his pages are a little out there. So if you focus on one thing, then you won't have to be so overwhelmed. Because I know some of these pages are crazy. And I do the same thing in my mythographic books too. So once you figure out what you want to focus on for that page, and it's different for every page. Sometimes I'll focus on the background first. Sometimes I will focus on whatever's in the foreground, so like the main thing. Sometimes I don't be ready for the main thing just yet, and I will focus on the little stuff around it, like the dragon page, for example. The dragon, you notice I haven't touched yet because one, I don't know what color I want to do it, and two, I want to make sure everything else around it is finished, and then it'll be a lot easier for me to say, okay, this is how I want my dragon to look because it's going to fit with the rest of the page. So sometimes that helps, but usually it's like, okay, let me do this background, or let me do the thing that's, kind of popping up the most on the page. For example, these trees, they're everywhere. So I'm like, if I tackle the trees, it's not much left of this page to do. So you can do something like that. Or you could start with the main thing. If that's something that you want to do the most on the page, start with that. And then now you're less intimidated because you're starting with the thing that you wanted to start with first. That's just how I do it. Some people are a little less scary than me and they just dive right in. I'm a bit more scary, so I choose what I'm going to color on the page and then hyper focus on that. And I think I do that with every book, not just the busy ones. I just do it in general because a lot of the books I own are books that are extremely intimidating. So I hyper focus on one thing anyway. So I think that's the best way to tackle some of these intimidating books. And it helps you move along the page too. So, and then if you get bored, like, because sometimes I get bored of whatever it is I'm coloring on the page, I'll move to the next page. There's nothing wrong with working on more than one page. So if I'm like, okay, I need to take a break from these trees, then I'm going to move on to something else that I've been hyper focusing on. Okay. Boom. So that is done. Just got to let it dry, of course. And so once all of this is colored, then I'll focus on the troll and everything. So now, what does this go to? Where's, do we have time? We're already at an hour. And I'm trying to keep my lives at an hour. So what I think I'm going to do is then I'm going to finish the water on this page on my own. And then once that's done, when we come back, maybe later today, who knows, I'll do the background. because I'm gonna finish the water. I have that much more to go. Why is this so close? Did I zoom in again? I did. Okay. I have to finish this, so I might finish that on my own today, or I am gonna finish that on my own. And then I'm actually thinking of starting this side. Um, I'm gonna start with the rocks like I did on this side, but that's not until after I finish the water on this side. Then I'll move to this side and start working on, because there's some rocks, and then probably we'll do the buildings and the water just like I did the other side, and then from there we'll be fine. But I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm making good progress. It's only the 12th, so, and once, 1 month this Kerby is up, I'll probably choose, or I'll probably have you guys help me choose, but I'm thinking Joanna Basford for next month, um, or Kanuka Igusa. I'm not sure, but probably Joanna next month. Um, I still have a couple weeks to figure that out, but I'm gonna finish the water on my own here. Hi, Brittany. Uh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish this on my own, and then I might get back on later. So, thanks for coming to hang out with me today, guys. And don't forget, if you guys are coloring along in Kerby this month, don't forget to use the hashtag. It is hashtag 1 month with Kerby. That way I can see your work. It's the same hashtag on YouTube as it is on Instagram. So if you don't have YouTube but you have Instagram and you want me to see what you're working on, same hashtag, hashtag 1 month with Kerby. So okay, I will see you guys either a little bit later or next week. Bye.